Hi guys, it's Nicole, and today I have a fun video for you that is a crafty school themed hop. This is run by Sarah Scraps, and there will be links below for all of the channels participating today, being Saturday, and I'll post a link below for Thursday, Friday, and Sunday, like where you can find the beginning of the hop. And we're just going to go ahead and jump right in. I did kind of edit my video down to be a little bit shorter today just because it is part of a hop. And at the beginning, I was just showing you a stamp and die set, which this was from Simon Says Stamp, and it's Let's Connect from Kathy Zilski, I believe. And as soon as I saw it in all the little animals on like a Zoom call, I kind of started thinking about being able to incorporate it into a layout. And I did not film the coloring. I actually colored this while I was listening in on my fourth graders online schooling type thing. So I will post the actual Copic marker numbers just down below in the description box. And then because I knew I wanted to be working with a ton of photos but not take up a ton of landscape in an album, I went with a photo collage. And this is just a photo collage template from Carrie Bradford's studio. Again, I'll post a link where you can find that below. And then from there, I just kind of wanted to play around. And I didn't have a brick stencil, but I couldn't get that out of my mind. So I just cut a brick area on a 12 by 12 sheet of paper out of just cardstock and decided to go ahead and just see if I could make my own stencil, and it ended up working really well. And the fact that I cut it on a Silhouette Cameo mat, if you guys use like a Cricut or a Cameo, you know that sometimes when you pull up your paper, it's a little tacky on the back just from that transfer. And that ended up working out really well to kind of keep this in place. And so I just took a light gray ink, which this is Fog from Simon Says Stamp, and I did do a little tester sheet just to make sure that it was going to work, and just kind of went to town. Now, because this was a super light ink, I did kind of have to work at it. So I just kind of kept carefully pulling it up, checking to make sure that I was getting an ink transfer, because I really couldn't see it as I was doing it. Like, it's that subtle of a color. You can kind of see the actual cardstock stencil starting to get a little bit darker where I'm putting the ink down, but I wasn't really seeing it on like the smooth white cardstock. So I just kept pulling it up and checking it. And then from there, I typed out my journaling, but my printer isn't going to fit a 12-inch wide piece of paper. So if I want to print on my background, then I will cut my paper down into like a strip like this that I can run through my printer. And then these are just some print and cuts that I got from Tracy Reed's online store, which I'll post a link for that too. And then typically I will sit here and line up my journaling using like the window or a light on my phone. This one ended up being a lot easier to actually line up, because here you can see that I know exactly where it's going to be because that typing paper is so thin. So I was able to just take my pencil and trace around where that whole piece was landing. And then I'm going to put some Post-it tape along the edge that's going to go through the rollers of my printer. And I'm going to send it right back through, not changing anything in the Word program. So there is my journaling all typed up onto that brick inked background. And then I'm going to go ahead and start attaching everything at this point. And then because I was pretty much using like homemade embellishments and stamped images and stuff like that, I didn't necessarily have paper that was, you know, specifically designed to match all of this stuff. So I just went through my stash and kind of looked at tone on tone type things. And this is from the 4th of July Doodlebug collection in their Petite Prints packet. So I just picked out one of the blues that I felt would match with those print and cuts, and just went ahead and covered the whole bottom of my layout. Now, I kind of was playing around with using these banners as like a border between the top and the bottom, and I did like that, except for the fact of the photo on the top left, the way that I edited it into that template, it was covering up half of my face, which I don't really feel like my whole face needs to be there, but it looked weird. It looked weird, and it was just bothering me. And so I will go ahead and end up moving those to the top of the layout. And then this was sort of the point in the process where I tend to slow down and kind of have a hard time making a decision, basically. But like an example would be the title. I was having a hard time coming up with a title, and I don't like those titles, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with them. I just internally gag a little bit when I hear the phrases like, we can do virtually, in parentheses, anything. Like, I get it. I get that schools and teachers are trying to be as like upbeat as possible. I just didn't want to use that on a layout. Like, I wanted something that sort of explained what was happening, but didn't do it in like a pun-filled way. And so I just kind of kept thinking about it, and I messaged a couple different scrapbook friends, and one of them eventually like nailed it, and I was like, thank you, I'm gonna go with that. So in the meantime, I am just kind of laying out some of those print and cuts and just trying to see if I like them. And if I'm not sure if I like them, I just kind of leave them sitting there like this while I keep going with other aspects of the layout. And that's kind of how I figure out if it's something that I am going to end up wanting to do, wanting those things to stay there. And so my friend basically suggested, because I wanted back to school, and then I wanted something else. And so it finally came down to back to school home edition. And to me, I liked that. To me, it explained that it was home. It didn't have any of these like puns and just different things that I keep seeing online. And I'm like, okay, no. So I did cut that part out of the video just because watching me put letter stickers down for a second time via the video is not fun. So I used some aqua or mint, I don't remember what color Doodlebug calls them, but these are their new alphabet stickers. And then I grabbed a sheet of like a dark gray lawn fawn paper that's literally just all of these little white hearts. So I cut a row of those because I do like to have a border or something delineating the space between a photo collage and then like a big scene at the top. And this is a go-to, like, not pattern, but this is a go-to layout style for me when I have these big photo collages, is I do like to either put them at the top or put them at the bottom, and then use whatever remaining space for title and journaling and fun things. So that was pretty much it. I went ahead and put all those die cut pieces back where they had been sitting the whole time and just kind of called it good. So with that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and remember to go down below and look for the next video in the hop. And as always, I thank you guys for stopping by, and I will catch you later. Bye.